You're listening to No Tears for Black Girls. I'm Samantha Paul. Starting today, we're introducing a new mini-episode series called JC's Inbox. JC Reedburg is not only an award-winning author and the writer of the No Tears for Black Girls series on Amazon Kindle, he's also the creator and research producer of this podcast. In these mini-episodes, JC brings you quick, fact-checked briefs on underreported crime-related news impacting the Black community, plus the adjacent societal stories shaping what happens next. No rumors, just what's confirmed, what's alleged, and what to watch. Today's JC's Inbox starts now.
Imagine this. You finally get a little breathing room. Not lottery money, not a windfall, just that rare moment where the bills aren't yelling as loud. You're thinking about the next move like somebody who's had to become a strategist just to survive. Refinance, consolidate, sell and downsize, keep the house and pull a little equity. Maybe you're trying to help your mom get stable. Maybe you're the one who became the stable one for everybody else. Either way, you're standing on the edge of progress, doing what people always tell you to do. Build something that lasts. Now picture this. You sit down to handle business and you see a word that doesn't belong next to your address. A word that makes your chest tighten because it's not a late fee, not a missed payment, not a scammy email you can delete. It's a claim. It's a mark. It's a shadow on the one thing you thought was solid, a lien. And not a lien for a few $100s, not something you can shrug off and fix in an afternoon. A number so high your brain rejects it at first. A number that looks like a typo until you realize it's filed like it's real. A number that doesn't just threaten your money, it threatens your options, your timing, your ability to move, your ability to breathe. There's a special kind of fear that comes with realizing somebody can reach into your life without ever stepping foot inside your home. No broken window, no forced door, no masked face, just paperwork, a filing, a stamp. And suddenly the home you worked for feels like it's in a fight you didn't start. And if you've never dealt with this, let me tell you what makes it worse. It's quiet. Paper crimes don't come with sirens. They come with surprises. They come with delays. They come with hold music, transfers, a whole new language you never asked to learn, title, recorder, filing, verification, civil process. That's the kind of crime that can make you feel powerless because there's no scene to point to, just documents that suddenly have power over you. That's why this story matters. This is one of those cases where the crime doesn't look like what people picture when they hear the word crime, but the damage can still be personal, destabilizing, and expensive to unwind. And in a city where stability already costs too much, that kind of disruption can push a family from "we're making it" to "we're drowning" fast. Here's what's confirmed from an official Los Angeles Police Department newsroom release posted March 1st, 2026, describing an arrest and an ongoing investigation. According to the LAPD, detectives with the department's Commercial Crimes Division, specifically the Real Estate Fraud Unit, arrested a Los Angeles resident named Rita Ortiz, age 58, on Thursday, February 26, 2026. The department said the arrest was for an alleged violation of California Penal Code 115 subsection A, which relates to filing a false document. An arrest is not a conviction. This is an active investigation, and I'm giving you what the department publicly stated. The LAPD said detectives began investigating what they described as a series of recorded mechanics liens on multiple properties within the city of Los Angeles that were reported to be false or fraudulent. And if the term mechanics lien sounds like something that only matters to contractors or lawyers, understand this. When something gets recorded against a property, it can create real problems for a homeowner even before anything gets fully sorted out. It can complicate selling, it can complicate refinancing, it can slow everything down at the exact moment you're trying to move forward. Now here's the part that jumps off the page. The LAPD said the liens listed extraordinary amounts, with some as high as $24,640,000 for services allegedly rendered by a company called Ortiz Consulting, Limited Liability Company, described as cleaning or consulting services. That number is not small. That number is life-altering on paper, even if it's disputed, even if it's challenged, even if it's eventually removed, because while you're fighting it, your life is still on pause. The LAPD said their investigation identified Rita Ortiz as the person controlling Ortiz Consulting and as the person who recorded the allegedly fraudulent liens. They also said multiple victims' properties were affected in Los Angeles, with additional victims and affected properties in Beverly Hills and Riverside County. When you hear multiple areas like that, you're not hearing coincidence. You're hearing the shape of something investigators believe may have reached more than one person, more than one household, more than one set of plans. The LAPD release also described how Ortiz presented herself. The department stated that she purported to be a real estate consultant and business coach, offering services related to property sales, investment properties, home leasing, short sales, and loan modifications. The LAPD said it is believed she may have offered services through a nonprofit organization named Make Your Dreams Come True. And the LAPD stated that she is not licensed by California's Department of Real Estate to perform any real estate services. And look, this is where the story gets real, because most people don't wake up thinking, I'm about to get scammed. They wake up thinking, I need help. I need a workaround. I need somebody who understands the system. I need a fix. And in real life, especially when you're juggling work, family, unstable rent, rising costs, and the pressure to stay afloat, help can sound like hope. Consultant can sound like somebody about to put you on game. Coach can sound like somebody finally giving you a way out. And names that sound motivational can hit you right in the soft spot, because everybody's trying to make a dream come true out here. Everybody. That's why I call paper crimes loud, even when they're quiet, because the consequences are loud. A filing like this can derail a refinance. It can pause a sale when you're trying to move your kids. It can complicate inheritance plans. It can drag you into months of stress you didn't earn. And your nervous system doesn't care whether the threat came from a gun or a document. When your housing feels threatened, your body still hears danger. And if you're listening and this feels far from your life, let me bring it closer. When you talk about property, you're talking about one of the most fragile forms of stability in a lot of Black households. You're talking about the thing that is hardest to secure and easiest to lose when systems get messy. You're talking about whether a family has any cushion at all. You're talking about whether something can be passed down or whether everybody has to start over again. So what do you do with this right now? First, you don't panic. Panic makes people easy to manipulate a second time. You move with awareness. If you own property, it's worth periodically checking your property records to make sure nothing has been filed that you don't recognize. If you're hiring someone who claims they can handle real estate services, verify credentials through official sources, not just social media and reviews. If someone is promising guaranteed outcomes on complicated processes like loan modifications or fixing title problems fast, slow down, ask for licensing, ask for everything in writing, get a second opinion. And if something shows up on your record that you didn't authorize, treat it as urgent. The LAPD said this investigation is ongoing and asked anyone with information to contact their commercial crimes division or submit anonymous tips through Crime Stoppers. I'm not going to rush through a string of numbers and audio because that never lands the way it should. If you want the official contact information, go straight to the LAPD newsroom release linked in the show notes. Use the exact correct channels. And let me leave you with this. A lot of people think true crime starts when something violent happens. The attack, the abduction, the gunshots, the headline. But some of the most devastating harm happens in slow motion, through systems, through forms, through filings, through people who understand the rules well enough to weaponize them against people who don't have time to study the fine print. So I want you to picture it one more time, but picture the ending differently. Picture catching it early. Picture checking the record before you need something. Picture verifying credentials before you sign anything. Picture protecting what you built, not just with locks and cameras, but with knowledge of how the paperwork world can be used against you. That's why this is in my inbox. Real case, real documents, real consequences. And if it's still developing, I'll say that too. This has been JC's Inbox. I'm JC Reedburg. Stay alert, protect your name, and protect what you've built.